The time is now to architect a life of excellence. What will we do? Who will we become? We decide today. This is Learn, Do, Become Radio. Let's move onward and upward together.
Hello and welcome to Learn, Do, Become Radio. I'm April Perry and we have a special treat for you today. Have you ever been inside of a downward spiral where you know what you need to do and what you want to do, but you simply don't have the energy to do it? Maybe you want to clean up your space or get your bills paid on time or get a routine going inside your business. But because it feels so overwhelming, you find yourself paralyzed and stuck. Today, we're going to share the story of an incredibly brave, amazing woman named Lori. And in fact, we've invited her onto the podcast so she can share her story in her own words with her own voice. And honestly, we can't wait for you to hear it. Lori came to one of our free classes that Eric and I teach called How to Finally Stop Drowning in Piles. And she was in the middle of a lot of challenges at the time, which you'll hear about on the podcast. Lori ended up joining our STEP program, which stands for Steps to Everyday Productivity. And her life has totally changed in a beautiful way. She is living proof that there can be an end to that downward spiral. And she's going to share today the tools that she used to help her get there. Now, whether you're interested in joining our formal program or not, this podcast is going to give you hope. I have no doubt that you'll be able to see yourself in Lori's experiences. And while the details will be different for your story, you're going to see that you are totally not alone and that there is support available to you. If, as you're listening, you're thinking, well, I want to go to the same class that Lori attended, you can go to learndobecome.com/step. Or if you just want to go to the show notes page and see photos of Lori's desk of hope she's going to talk about and see more of the great information that we have on our upcoming boot camp and some of the awesome resources that we have for you here at Learn, Do, Become, just go to our episode 27 page. You can find that at learndobecome.com/episode 27 because it's so fun when you can actually see photos and you can get really a better feel for all the wonderful things that Lori's going to be sharing today. So I hope you're having fun at the gym right now, or maybe you're cleaning up some stuff in your house, or maybe you're driving home from work, but enjoy the podcast. Hi, Lori. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Oh, I'm thrilled to be here, April. Thank you so much for having me here.
It is a privilege to get to speak to you because I have been watching your story and kind of watching you from afar for months and months now. And I'm just thrilled that you're willing to come on and share your story and help inspire other people in our Learn, Do, Become community. Because what you've gone through as far as your transformation and what you're still going through and the inspiration that you're giving to the group and to me and to others, it's just amazing. So we're going to just start out by talking about what the main pain points were that you were experiencing before you came and joined us in our STEP program. Like what caused them? What were you trying to find to help solve those pain points before? So take it away.
Yes. Okay. I had like 3 pain points that needed to be changed. The first one was having like success in the world. Like I felt like I'm a complete failure. No success. I'm a loser. That's it. The second pain point I had, and it's that whole chaos theory, can't have anyone over syndrome. The house was a disaster. And so that was, I felt on me, and I was so guilty about it. And I think the most important pain point for me, though, and I don't know how I thought STEP was going to help with this, but here it is, was my relationship with my husband. I didn't feel like we were equal in this marriage, and it was really scaring me, and I wanted it to be equal. And I don't know how I thought STEP was going to help, but going back just a little bit as to where my problems, I think, come from, is that I have had chronic migraines for like I think, 30 years now. And they're completely debilitating. And anyone who had migraines know you have to be in a dark room, no noise, smells, your eyes closed with an ice pack until you fall asleep. And they were terrible. I mean, they're not so bad now because of the different medications that are now out available for migraines. But it's that ice pick behind like for me, it was my right eye. It was just constant. And the nausea and the cold sweats and the dizziness. And for me, my fingers and toes would go numb and couldn't concentrate. And I would just cry until I fell asleep. So my migraines, and they were like 5 days out of a 7-day week, they were horrific. And everything caused them, and it was like bright light, like the sunlight, and strong smells, loud noises, and ironically, my husband is a musician, and I can't go to almost any of his gigs.
Yeah, it's just painful.
Yeah, that's really painful. And I think
so were you working during that time? Were you able to work with all those migraines?
Yes.
Wow, okay.
But that helped me not work anymore, which was a big problem financially.
Yeah, absolutely.
But just absolutely everything gave me a migraine. Like any stimuli whatsoever, anything that increased my blood pressure, adrenaline, boom, migraine.
Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, so unfortunate. So the one pain point that was the success in the world was that, you grow up and they say you're going to be a positive influence in the world and you're going to make it a better place. And I really took that to heart. I mean, I just wanted to change the world and God would be so proud of me. Mm-hmm. And so at first I went into the finance industry and I did really well. And I was making a lot of money and I was traveling and I was like, hobnobbing with a quote unquote important people. And so there's a certain wow that goes with that. But at one point I was like, I'm not really doing anything to make the world a better place. I'm just making rich people richer. Will is true, and I had to think about it a lot. And people thought I was crazy to leave because I was leaving a job with so much money. Mm-hmm. But I couldn't do it anymore.
Wasn't your heart? Your heart wasn't in it.
It wasn't. And so I went to nursing school and became a nurse. And ironically, my husband has just told me recently that what made him fall in love with me so much more is that I chose to follow my heart instead of the money. Mm-hmm. So when I heard that, I was like, oh.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but when I was a nurse in a hospital around here, that's when my migraines really kicked in. And often I just felt like I was sicker than my patients, and I was calling out all the time, and it just wasn't working all the way around. So I had to stop working.
Yeah.
And during that time, my son was born 5 weeks early, so we had all those issues. Yeah. So I just was like...
It's too much coming at you at the same time.
It was those migraines constantly. And then I was just... So at this point now, all these years later, I'm still in the bed in a quiet room doing nothing. And it's always in my head. I'm such a loser. Mm-hmm. God must be so disappointed in me. I've totally failed him. And that's just there all the time.
And you probably knew that wasn't a healthy way of thinking. And deep inside you, you know that there's something probably kind of off. Because the compassion you have, the love, you have a lot to offer. But when you're sitting, and I spent months in bed recovering from surgery, so I can understand a tiny bit what you're feeling. But it's kind of like this disconnect because you know that you're not an absolute failure, but sometimes you can't see evidence around you to prove otherwise. Is that kind of how you felt?
Yeah, it's frustrating because I know I do have something to offer, but I can't offer it. Yeah. And that's what makes me a failure.
Just don't feel good. Right, right.
Yeah, so that was one of my pain points. Obviously, another one was that whole chaos thing because there was just stuff everywhere. And we weren't paying bills on time because we couldn't find them. Laundry was always building up. Obviously, with all of this happening, it's not like we're dusting and mopping and everything perfect. Yeah. And again, I felt so guilty about that. I'm the one who's home all day.
Yeah.
My husband's working, the kids are working or in school, and I'm not doing anything. People are like, not my husband, because he's very understanding, but so many people are like, you're lazy, just pick up, by your bootstraps. I've had a migraine, and people have them, and they work through them, so you must be a hypochondriac.
Oh,
you are really... No, you're judged. I have always been judged, and so anything with this house not being, perfect, or at least anything, is my fault. And so that was another huge guilt for me. Yeah, and then my last one, which was, and I didn't even know how Steph was going to help me with this, it was my biggest pain point, was my relationship with my husband. We weren't equal. It was like he was the caretaker, and I'm the patient. And
that's just stressful on both sides.
It was, and I felt so bad for him because financially it was all on him. Taking care of the kids and the house and everything, that was all on him. So he was like a single parent. But what made it worse, I knew, was because he had to take care of me too.
Yeah.
So it made it worse than being a single parent. So I just, honestly, I will say, I thought that they would be better off without me.
Oh.
Like, I was just ruining everybody's life, and their lives would be so much better if they didn't have me in their life. And so there's a hopelessness that goes with that.
Yeah.
Because you just don't see out of it.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was.
Well, and just to pause for a moment, I mean, I can just tell you, I don't have the exact same experiences you've had, but I know that it's extremely common for people, wherever they are in their lives, to feel like they're letting people down when they're not able to do everything that they want to do. I mean, like, just hearing your story, like, brings tears to my eyes, because it's like, first of all, I can put myself in your shoes and feel like I can totally see how you felt that way. I mean, when you don't have the energy and ability to do what you want to do, and you see your family working so hard around you, and you feel like you're a drain, or you feel like you're just not all you can be, it kind of creates this vicious cycle where you just start thinking, well, what are my options? What do I do? If I don't feel good, I can't make it better. And if I just don't know where to go. What do I do? Because it almost feels like this torture to just sit in that situation and not know how to move forward. So just wanted to, first of all, just applaud you for even being able to talk about this and help other people to know that they're not alone in how they feel. So thank you.
You're welcome.
So what were
I don't feel that way anymore. So.
Okay, and I love that. And so I'm excited because I'm sure those listening too want to know, well, then what happened? What changed? And maybe can you just share what had you tried doing before you found STEP? What were you doing to try to get out of that pain that you were feeling, that you were in?
This is the most awful part that makes it make me lazy. Nothing.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't think that's awful at all. It's kind of like, I've just been learning that phrase, learned helplessness, where if you try a lot of things and you don't get success, you just stop trying because you're like, well, why would I put energy into doing more things that aren't going to work? And that's super common. So probably it's a way to sustain your energy to let's just pause. Let's just hold on. Let's pause. Let's not try anything because,
Yeah, it's just paralyzed. You get to the point where it's so overwhelming.
Yeah.
You don't even know what to do.
Yeah.
You don't even know what to do, so you don't do anything. You just freeze.
Okay. So should we move on to our next question? Or should
absolutely.
This? Because I'm loving this ability to kind of see into your life and be able to see where you were. And I think you described it so well. So coming into STEP, now those people who are listening might not know what STEP is. STEP is our program called Steps to Everyday Productivity. And so we teach a free class and we help people learn 4 steps and talk about getting out of piles. Now, I'm assuming you found us through Facebook or something like that?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
I found you through Facebook. I was in my room, the family is gone, it's dark, it's quiet, lying in bed, going through Facebook, and you have this thing about, I forget what it is, getting out of piles.
Yeah.
Or
How to finally stop drowning in piles was the name of the class that you attended.
Yeah, that. And I was drowning in piles. And I think at that point, you're so low, you're grasping at straws.
Yeah.
Maybe this will work. Probably won't because nothing has, but maybe this will work. And so I listened to the video, and I was just so drowning in hopelessness. I don't even think people understand. Well, I'm sure there are people who do understand what that feels like.
Yeah.
But I started with an open mind to listen to you, and I must say, your voice is so soothing.
You're so cute. I'm glad.
You have to have been told that before. Your voice is just so easy to listen to. And it's been a lifeline, listening to just your voice.
Oh, I'm so glad.
When I had nothing else to do. So, but I sat there and I listened, and you're not judgmental, and you were so compassionate, and it really felt like you were talking to me directly. Like everything you were saying, I was like, yes, that's me. How did you know that's me? That is so me. And then I cried probably through the rest of the video. I was just so. I did, because I was just so overwhelmed with emotion that you were that amazing. And I wanted to say thank you for understanding and for caring. Like, why would you even care about us? I couldn't figure it out. No, really.
Well, let me pause for a second. Can I answer that question?
Okay, go ahead.
This is like, I haven't really talked about this publicly a lot at this point, but so I grew up in piles. I think I'd mentioned a little bit about that. Like I have a great mom, great dad, but like my mom just didn't know what to do with stuff. And I didn't know what to do with stuff. And I would shove things under my bed, and I would, put things everywhere. And what happened was my mom would try so hard to like keep the house clean. Like she really was trying. And sometimes it would get clean, but it always ended up with piles again. And she always had piles of papers everywhere on the kitchen table and on our piano, and we'd invite friends over, and she would take the piles and we'd put them in boxes, and we'd help her carry them onto her bed so that we could have guests over. And then as soon as guests would leave, we'd go get her piles and we'd bring them back out, so we had room to sleep, like a place to sleep. And I watched her though, all growing up, my whole life. I watched her at least once to twice a week look around the house and just say like, oh, these piles, oh, my room. Oh, like I watched it drain her like all the time. It was just, that was what I saw growing up, was my mom feeling drained by the stuff. And so what happened is when I finally learned, I started reading books and learning and getting training on how to get out of the piles. When I finally learned that as an adult, I went back to try to teach her, because I'm like, Mom, I'm going to help teach you what I learned. But she developed Alzheimer's, and she could never learn it. Like at that point, she couldn't keep track of anything when I finally was able to teach her. And so I never got a chance to help her learn it and learn how to get out. Yeah. So I feel like what subconsciously, I didn't even realize what's been happening, but I have been like on this mission to help people get out of their pain and their piles, because in some way I felt like if I helped other people, that maybe I was like retroactively helping her. You know what I mean? Yeah. It was I do understand this desire to like not have anyone go through the pain that I watched growing up. So anyway, that was just my little pause, because like I feel it. Like I get it. I've seen it,
And the thing that I thought was crazy is, like, you believed I could do it, and I was like, no, I can't. I don't know why you're believing I can do this, but you had complete faith that we could do that one assignment.
Yes.
And so you had faith in me that I didn't have faith in me. And basically, it was just to clean off, like, one space.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's it. That's your homework assignment. I was like, really? Till next week? I can do that. If that's all you want me to do, and then you're happy with it, I can clean off a space. And so I was alone. I was home. I went downstairs. I looked for, like, the place that had the least amount of piles. And it was this little desk. And so I just took all the piles off it, went and found the furniture polish, and just, like, just did it. And then I thought, oh, my God, that was a success. Like, you would be proud of me because I did that. And then I cried again.
Oh, I love that. Not that you cried, but I love that one step. That's awesome.
Yeah, and that was really, that was so powerful to me. So to this day, I keep that desk clean, and it just, every time I walk by it all the time, that's like my hope desk. That was like the turning point in my life from being hopeless to having hope. And I know that sounds so corny, and people are like, no. But no, it was. So that just means everything to me.
Okay, so let's talk about some of the main principles of STEP that helped you move forward. I mean, it sounds like obviously knowing someone believes in you and then having something super simple where you could just start. But what else was like, because then it wasn't just the desk. You said you started being able to like do the dishes and pay the bills, and maybe explain a little bit about what started changing for you, or maybe what were the principles that helped you make those changes?
One of the most important or biggest ones that helped my family as a whole was when you suggested having a landing place for your most important papers. So just the most important papers put in this one place. And what happened is, when I would have a migraine and they'd be like, well, where's the field trip slip? I would be like, it's there in that little cubby.
Yes.
And, you know, where's the bill? I could say it was there. So I knew with surety, which is so nice, that the most important stuff was together for other people to find if I wasn't able to help.
Oh, it's so important hearing that from you, because, you know, if somebody has perfect health and they're doing fine and they're always up and running and doing all of that, sometimes they can have things all over the place. You know, you can have random piles. People say like, well, I have a mess, but I know where everything is. But when you aren't feeling well and you need to depend on somebody else, or if somebody's traveling a lot for work, or they've got, you know, other people who are helping them with their family or with their business or their life, if your system is all in your head or scattered around the place, other people can't help you. And I love that you've mentioned that, because then that enabled other people to be able to go get the bill or go get that form and let you recover and rest.
Yeah. It helped smooth things out a lot in the house. One of the things that helped me, because I felt I couldn't do anything, was your explanation of what a microburst is.
Okay.
That you could take 5 minutes or 10 minutes and just do this one tiny thing, and that was your success.
Yes.
And I was like, I can do that. Like, I can match the socks, or I can at least put all the bills together, you know, and the dates they need to be paid, or I don't know. If I had a little bit of energy, I didn't have to look at all the big piles.
Yes.
I just had to look at one tiny thing and get that done. And it wasn't paralyzing. You made it so simple. You just brought out this system that helped walk us through it. And I was able to do it, and I'm still able to do it.
So awesome. Well, and I love that, because when you think about it, if you did have any energy, like let's say you did finally get to fall asleep and your headache's feeling a little bit better, you probably never had energy to do like 3 hours of, you know, digging into some big project at that point, right? Like it was like you just get little bursts of energy.
Yeah.
So that's how it's working.
And where do you start?
Yeah. So then learning to work with that, I mean, and that's the system that we teach in STEP. It's what helped me when I first became a mom, because, you know, I'm like, I used to own my life. Like I could get up in the morning, I could go do, you know, exercise, I could do anything I wanted. I had the whole day to work on homework or go to work or whatever I needed to do. And I had hours that were just mine. And then when I started having children, I'm like, oh, now I've got like 5 minutes between when the toddler has to get help in the restroom and the baby needs to be fed or something like that. And I felt like I never had time to do anything. But I love what you're saying, like 10 minutes, 5 minutes. You're like, okay, I don't have maybe as much energy as I wish I had, but I have 5 minutes of energy. I can do this. And you knew where to go or what to do at that time.
Yeah, it was great. And my final thing with it, but so helpful, because you're saying you knew where, how, is the Facebook community for STEP. It is amazing. Everybody's in the same boat. Mm-hmm. Everybody who talks about their journey is just as vulnerable as you are. Mm-hmm. No one's judging you. Everybody is encouraging you, and when we each have successes and talk about them, everybody is there celebrating them. No, it's
awesome.
wonderful. It is.
It's like heaven on Facebook. Honestly, that's what I think. Because most groups you're in, there's like contention, there's fussing, or I don't know, or the vibe just isn't awesome. I've been in a lot of groups and I've never had like a group I love. But the Step Mastery group, oh my gosh, like I love these people. And occasionally someone comes in who's a little cranky, but the group will change that. They're like, oh, we totally get where you're coming from. But have you thought about it this way? Like, they're just so nice, like such nice people.
Yeah, and they do get where you're coming from. And so you're able to just breathe a sigh of like, I can let go of some of that tension because these people get me and they're here with me. And like you said, if I would be like, I don't even know what to do with this. I don't even know what other people do. And I would just type it and all different people, and I'd be like, oh, that makes sense. I can do that. It's helped a lot because you get these little things that sort of stump you. You're like, I don't know.
Yeah, it's awesome.
And you have that one paper, the flow chart, when you have a piece of paper and you go, is this yes or no? Is this a yes or no? And eventually, after I was having successes with you, I showed that to my husband. I showed him all of this, and I showed him papers how I could yes through no's. I'm sure he thought I was crazy at first. He was just so proud of, though, how much I was excited about this and how he could see the positive effects of it.
Yes.
And so that was really awesome for me.
Well, and one of the things that you posted on our website was that you said, I feel like I'm finally becoming more equal with my husband. And like that really touched me when I read that, because first of all, it sounds like you married a very compassionate, kind man who like has stuck with you and cared for you during these down times. But it also sounds like as you're getting more of this confidence in yourself, it's kind of like you're seeing in yourself what he's always seen in you. Like that love and that pride he has for you. I mean, it's just beautiful. And I'm like, I think it's amazing. Like that's one of my favorite things. Can you maybe just tell us a little bit more about that, or the changes you've seen and how you feel more as an equal?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's funny that you said, and I can't remember what you just said, that like maybe I saw myself what he saw in me, because I was like, I never thought of it that way. I never thought he found it, but I guess he did, right? He fell in love with me. We've been together all this time. Yeah. So, but we would be able to go through the STEP program together, and so he got an understanding of what was so important to me, that was stabilizing my life, that made me feel like a normal person, that made me feel like I'm important and contributing to this family. Like, I'm not hopeless anymore. And we talked so much about that, about where I was and where I am and my feelings and his. And then sometimes we'd just read the paper together and talk about it. And those would be like our dates. No, they were. Awesome. They were, like, even going grocery shopping, like, on a Monday and, like, 9 a.m. was, like, a date because we were just together.
That's awesome.
And so that mattered. And I realized, yes, I can't go to almost all of his gigs. But when he comes home, I can be here to listen to him, tell me all about them. Yeah. And then I realized lots of people go to work and their spouses don't go to work with them. Yeah, and so that doesn't make me a bad person because I didn't go. And so that guilt sort of went away, too.
That's awesome.
It was little by little that, even matching all his socks and putting them in his drawer so they were together, because he just used to pull this and this. I'm like, Michael, that's blue and that's brown. And he's like, who cares? So I was like, look, I matched all your socks. And he was like, I love you.
He's like, I was fine with it mismatched, but this is great.
Yeah,
so
and I was happy, he was happy. And I think that was cool because then he was happy that I was happy. And then we started laughing together. And I can't even remember when we laughed together before.
That's so awesome.
Because I was always so depressed.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how STEP did that. No, I still don't to this day. I don't understand how going through all of this, like, changed my life that way. But it did. And that's, like, incredible.
That is incredible.
So,
I love
Did not expect that.
Well, but I think, and the thing is, like, you're so cute. And in the little testimonial that you'd written, you're like, you changed my life, and I always, whenever I'm sharing that testimonial with people, I say, I always want to clarify, like, we didn't change her life. She changed her life. Lori decided to get up, to watch the videos, go through it, build her system. Like, she went and did it. There's a lot of people who will say, oh yeah, I want change, but then they actually don't, or they're not, willing to go through what it takes. Like, you did it. You went through and you're like, okay, I'm going to make this happen. And it wasn't hard, and you had support, and you saw improvements right from the start. And I think that keeps you going, right? Like, when you see a quick win, you're like, okay, I got a win. Let's keep doing what's working. Like, if it stops working, I won't do it. But if I can keep doing it and it keeps working, then let's keep doing it. But then you made this happen. And I think, like, that joy, and when you see yourself progressing, it becomes this virtuous cycle, right? So now, instead of the vicious cycle of all these thoughts telling us why we're not enough, now you have this virtuous cycle saying, oh, look, and I just got the socks matched, and I just got the bill paid, and I just got this swept or this done. And then it just becomes, well, now I could do something else. And sure, we're going to have down times. I mean, I'm sure every day since you've joined STEP hasn't been like a cakewalk, right? Like, you've had some challenges still. Life didn't stop happening. But now you have tools to know how to keep going, right? Yes. So what are your goals now? Like, what are you refining? What are you working towards? Or what are you feeling like now is possible because of STEP?
Well, then I have to preface this with a little bit of information about what my goals are now.
Okay.
Because, you have goals in life, you write them all down, blah, blah, blah. So, but then I listened to a podcast you did with Greg McEwen about your legacy.
Yeah.
And it completely changed everything. Because my pain points, like, it fixed the success one. So people probably might not know this, but he was saying your legacy isn't what people say at your funeral.
Yeah.
It's what people might say 10 years after that. Or 10 years after that, what do your grandchildren remember about you? And I thought, well, what do I remember about my grandmother? And I was like, I didn't care what she did for work. I remember what we did together. I remember rolling out the dough, and mine was always lumpy, but hers was good. But my lumpy was okay. We watched old movies together, and I think one of the most important things, I don't even know if I ever told anybody this, but one time she said, after my grandfather died, she said one of the things she missed the most was physical touch, because who's physically touching her?
Yeah.
And so there would be times when we were together, and she would, like, hold my hand, and we would sort of squeeze, and it was a thing between the two of us that knew it was like, this was us together, connecting. This was her physical touch that she needed. And I don't know, it just was a thing that made the world to me. And so I said, I want my grandchildren to have that. And all of a sudden, I realized it's okay that I'm not a success in the world and change the world. I don't even want to do that anymore. I want to do what's right for me. So that pain point, I have had my whole life of feeling guilty and disappointing God and all of that, boom, went away.
That's awesome.
Because I realized, no, really, I was like,
so awesome.
Doesn't even matter anymore.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Because you have these relationships right now that you're nurturing and taking care of, and then you know that you're going to be able to continue that. That even if, no matter what happens, you can control the love that you share towards the ones that you care about.
Yes. And so the other thing that he put in to help me with that, because that can be overwhelming then, all the things, is he said, when you do your to-do list with 6 things, the most important on top, the least important on the bottom, and then he was so funny, he's just like, cross off the bottom 5. Only concentrate on the top one. And I was like, I can do that. I can do one thing a day. I got that, I think. And that took a lot of pressure off, too, that knowing what I wanted my legacy to be, I could make my goals more specific to what I wanted them to be.
Yeah.
And if I only had one thing to do today, what it was going to do was going to be that goal. And that was just so empowering.
I love that.
Like, I don't know how to say anything else about that, but,
it's beautiful.
I suddenly realized that, my son will come over and my grandson will be colicky. I can rock a colicky baby for hours and sing lullabies, and it gives my son a break. And I can give that to him. I can't bring the kid to the circus or something, but I can do that. Or I watch my granddaughter during the week while my daughter works, and we just do a little this or that. But I then realized that for my daughter, she can just work at work knowing that, we're all set. Her daughter's getting loved, and we're doing good, and it's a good thing. And I realized that my little things are things that do matter. And so they're not so little after all. And that just made me have less guilt about the fact that I can only do little things because they do matter.
Okay, so how many grandchildren do you have right now?
I have 3.
3 grandchildren. Okay, I didn't know that.
Yes.
Okay, and how many children?
3.
Okay, 3 children, 3 grandchildren.
Yes, and 2 of my grandchildren are 1 and 2.
Okay.
And so one of the things I'm most proud of is that now, even if I have piles in other places, I have rooms that I keep the floor spotlessly clean.
Awesome.
And stuff out of the way, and my grandchildren can come, play on the ground. We can play with them, and I don't have to worry about cobwebs in that room or laundry in that room. I've got this down, and we're good.
Lori, this is amazing.
It is amazing that my floors are clean for my grandchildren. That was such a big deal for me. Like, I don't think other people get that.
My goodness.
But for me,
yes. No, I get that. I mean, that's huge. And to be able to invite them and to know that your daughter doesn't have to worry, and to know that you don't have to worry, and what a service you're providing. Not just for your children to help take care of your grandchildren, but you're already forming now those memories with your grandchildren. I didn't realize you had grandchildren. So what you did with your grandma, her holding your hand, you're doing that right now. That's amazing,
yeah.
Lori. I love that.
I think it is too. I mean, now I wake up and I'm happy. I wake up and I'm just happy, and that wasn't happening before STEP. And I know, again, that sounds so corny, and I don't know what STEP does, but it completely changed my emotions. And
awesome. Well, and the thing is, as you're talking and as you're sharing this, I mean, that's the little catchphrase that we have. That's something that's important to me, is waking up excited and going to bed content. That's what I want. And that joy, that waking up happy, that is huge, because I think that most people in the world don't achieve that. That's really not the norm. Most people wake up feeling discontent, stressed, overwhelmed, they don't match up, right? All this stuff that goes through our heads. But you're learning and you're training your brain how to wake up happy. And then you are already now leaving this legacy for your children and grandchildren. I mean, I have a lot of people who are grandparents who will email us in or chat on our classes or things like that. And they'll say, I need to get organized, because if I were to leave this life in this state, my children or grandchildren would be sorting through messes for I don't know how long. I would be just leaving messes for all of my children, grandchildren. And the fact that you right now have already created an environment where they can come, they can be, they can play, they can enjoy you, they can see you happy. I mean, and the other stuff that you want to clean or other projects you want to get to and stuff in the future, yeah, that'll come. But you've already got this going. I mean, this is utopia here, Lori.
It is. Awesome. And it was only after I listened to your podcast with Greg McEwen about what is the most important thing that I think I can do in life. And that was it.
Yeah. I love it.
That was it. And it changed everything.
So what would you say to someone who's drowning in clutter, or who is feeling like they're so overwhelmed, they don't know where to start, they've got piles, they feel like it's just too hard for them, maybe it works for other people, but they haven't seen my house, they don't know what I'm going through. What would you say to someone who's looking for hope that they could possibly get out of that?
I think the very first thing I would say to them you are not alone.
Mm-hmm.
You're just not alone. Just don't feel powerless and like nobody cares and scared and all of that, which you do. I mean, we all wake up at 4 a.m. with anxiety about everything that's wrong with us.
You too?
I think everybody has that whole, oh my goodness. But you're not alone, and you don't have to go through this alone. And I think the STEP program helps with that. And be gentle with yourself. You know, I felt so guilty for so long about things, and somehow working through the STEP program, I realized to let some of that guilt go and to become gentle with myself as I try to go through these things. Because it was a new thing to go through. And I was there, and I do know that hopelessness. And the fact that the STEP program helped me. Now, I'm 50, and so I've had a very long time to have a very disorganized, chaotic life. Mm. And to have it at the age of 50 when I never thought I would have it is beyond my dreams. It really is.
That's
so
awesome.
I would just say, listen to April's voice, because you have the most soothing voice, and you just do, and you understand, and you don't judge, and you have such compassion, and people can tell that. We can tell that. And you have faith in people. You had faith in me even when I had no idea you should have faith in me. And you just knew that you could get me past this paralyzed part, this overwhelmed part, by doing just these little things that if I just did this little thing with you, and then another little thing with you, and then all of a sudden I was like, oh my goodness, look at that. You know, I'm all that today. And so,
I love it. Well, you have a lot of life left, you know, like 50 is young. I just turned 40, and I'm like, I used to think 40 was so old, and now I'm like, oh my gosh, Eric, we're going to be empty nesters in 8 years. We have years and years and so much life left. And so many times people will think, well, I'm an adult, or I'm older, I'm now a grandparent, or whatever. I mean, you're living proof that why would we want to live all of our years overwhelmed when we could change that?
Yeah.
And enjoy. I mean, getting to hold and rock your grandbaby, and being able to have energy to listen to your husband when he comes home and talk about how his work went. And I mean, just being that support, you just can't underestimate the power of what our support and love means to the people around us. I mean, it's awesome.
Yeah, no, it really is. And I will just say one thing, like this is sort of my last thing, but the one thing that surprised me the most about this entire journey with STEP is that it gave me dignity. Now, I didn't even realize I didn't have it, or that I wanted it, or even what it meant in my life. But all of a sudden one day I was like, I feel like I have dignity. And I'm like, and what does that mean to you, Lori? And so I looked it up in the dictionary, and it's a state or quality of being worthy of honor and respect, to be valued. And I was like, I am worthy to be valued. I couldn't say that before STEP. For the longest time, I didn't think I was worthy of anything. And I was like, somehow, in some way, that going through this program and just trusting you and the people in the Facebook community helped me realize I'm not less than anybody else. Yeah. I'm equal to everybody, but they're also equal to me. There's no one
We're not trying to be better than anyone either. Yeah.
Yeah, and so, of course, I still have my setbacks, and life is life, and, you know, I start doubting myself and everything, but it's so funny. I just go and I look at my desk, and I look at, you know, the word dignity I wrote on my, like, mirror with lipstick, and I just look at those things, and I'm like, yes. And then I hear your voice, and sometimes I just listen to your podcasts or your videos, like, over and over, and it just gets me. It gets you out of that slump, and it gets you excited again. And I love that being part of the program lets me do that. Yeah. And I know you have that whole another part of the program called, I think, Architecture of Your
Life.
Life.
Yeah, the Life Architecture. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I certainly don't think I'm ready for it yet.
Okay.
I do know what I want in the future. I don't know how to get it from here to there, and I think that will help. But I don't know how much of here I need to be to even be part of this.
Yeah. No, I get it. And it's in beta right now, so we're like beta testing it this year. But we'll be seeing more on that too. There's some other stuff we're working on in the future too. So I want to get your feedback on that. I'll send you details.
No, that would be great. But I just think you are awesome, April, and I would just give you the biggest hug I could.
I wish I could give you a hug. I'm like over here in tears because here's the thing, like all these kind words. The thing is for me, like I see all of my weaknesses, just like each of us. We see our own weaknesses way more than everyone else. And a lot of the work that we do behind the scenes here is not fancy. It's like I'm sitting in code. I'm on phone calls with, contractors. I'm trying to fix things that are broken and write stuff. There's so many like details that go into running a community and running a program and pursuing a mission like this. And so often I see where I'm failing, and I see, like even right now, I totally snapped at Eric like 2 hours ago before I jumped into meetings. So I need to go apologize to him right now because I've been like, I was so mad at him this morning. And so, I'm thinking like, oh man. Of course in my mind, I could be thinking, like I'm a bad wife and I'm this, like, all these things like that. But like hearing your story and hearing what you've been able to do, like this is what makes my work so rewarding and makes it worth it to me, because like I feel the mission and I know that like I know that this works and I know that this process helps people. And so when I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking like, I know there are people out there who are drowning who just don't know that they can get out. And I want to be so helpful. And I think my challenge has been just not knowing if I'm helping enough and always feeling like there's more to do. And I just don't know how to fulfill this mission that feels so big. But your words just really comfort me, because I think, you know what, if I did just stop here, like this would be worth it for me. Like all the effort, what I'm hearing from you and from our community, like it's just beautiful. And I love now that you're willing to talk and to share and to let us, record this podcast to be able to share with our community, because you've been so freshly in this experience and it's been so uniquely beautiful in what you've been able to create. You inspire me, and I know that this is going to inspire so many others.
No, thank you. For a while I was like, you have so much energy and you do so much stuff, and I am such a sloth. And so I finally realized that, like you said, your mission in life is not the same as my mission in life. Mm-hmm. And so your mission is that. And it's not mine, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And so I don't need to compare myself to you and come out like, oh my goodness, I'm less than. I got my own mission going, and I'm okay with it.
I love that. I love that you just said that, because, I was thinking about my mom this morning. She didn't do a business. She wasn't podcasting. There wasn't podcasting back when she was there, but she was terrified to speak in public, and she was always someone who was very behind the scenes. But she was the mom who was sitting by the phone, and whenever I called, she would answer it and would just want to talk with me and hear everything about my day. And she'd get excited about anything I was excited about, and she would just listen if I needed to cry. She has 8 children, so all 8 of us would just call her. I think she honestly had the phone like on her ear most of the week, because she was always calling us, how are you doing, and taking our calls and praying for us and supporting the neighbors. And, she was just like, she was at home and she didn't have a ton of physical energy. She was tired a lot. She was 42 when she had me. So she was, in her 60s when I left home. And her mission was totally different. She was there to be like a support and a love. And sometimes I feel like I'm not what my mom was. Like I have got so much technical stuff I'm doing. Like I'm not as available as she was to everybody. But then I have to, same thing. I can't compare myself and say, well, I'm not holding little babies and rocking them all day. I'm doing computer work, and that doesn't sometimes feel as important. But I think you hit the nail on the head. Like each of our missions is unique. Not everybody is going to be able to sit and hold the grandchildren or help take care of that. Not everybody is going to do podcasts and online programs, but like that's where we all come together and we use our strengths and we do our little piece of good in our world. And when enough of us join together and we're all doing that, that's where this vision of that's how we change the world. It's all of us doing our unique missions.
Yeah, I just think because STEP comes forward for everyone with so much compassion that we can do this and hold our heads up high.
I love that. Thank you so much, Lori.
You're welcome.
It has just been a pleasure talking with you today.
Well, thank you. It's been wonderful talking with you, too.
Okay, is she not the sweetest? I just felt so happy having the opportunity to speak with Lori. And also, as I just went back and listened to the podcast recording, I just had a smile on my face the whole time because she's just a beautiful soul. And I feel so privileged and honored to be able to play just a little part in her life. Now, I don't know everyone who's listening to this podcast, and I don't know who all is out there in the world who needs what we have to offer here at Learn, Do, Become. But what I do know is I feel that it's my mission and my calling to help you to get out of your overwhelm so that you can live your mission. I know how it feels to wake up in the morning and not be excited. And not only not to be excited, but to not even know if you have what it takes to make the day happen. And I also know how it feels to be out of that. And I want to help you to get out of that if that's where you are right now. But when you think about it, wherever we are, learning and doing and becoming, this is an ongoing process. We're continually growing and growing throughout our lives so that we can live our purpose. And if you are thinking, okay, maybe I'm ready for this, maybe this is a change that I want to make in my life, we have a movement going on here at Learn, Do, Become to help build a command central on every desk. Because I'm actually completely convinced that the world would change if everyone knew how to get rid of all that clutter and to be able to move forward and have that dignity that Lori was talking about. So, okay, next steps. Come to our show notes page, learndobecome.com/episode 27. We'll have links on that page to our upcoming boot camp if you're listening to this right when it releases. We'll also have links to where you can find out more about our program. We have lots of free resources on our website. We have that free class, learndobecome.com/step. And you can explore Learn, Do, Become Radio and explore the productivity section on our website. Come check out our social media channels. Right now, we're mostly on Facebook, but we're getting ready to expand. So if you're listening to this later, hopefully you'll find us on other places too. But please share this podcast episode with any friends that you have who might be in the middle of that downward spiral right now. Maybe you could just screenshot your phone as you're listening to the episode and post it on social media. Include that link to our episode page. And just let us know what we can do to serve you guys. Okay, thank you. Have an amazing day. We'll see you soon at learndobecome.com.